Good evening. This is Raven Dana. Thanks for tuning in to Walking Between the Worlds. I did post a little something a few days ago, but unfortunately there was no sound, and I didn't discover that until last night. So here's a little take two on our conversation about spring cleaning of the mind. You know, it's that time of year. Spring's around the corner. We are looking forward to warming days and that feeling in the air that something's new and fresh. We have that urge to clean the cobwebs, to take a look in those old junk drawers and dump them out and see what's in there, to go through our old towels and maybe throw away bottles and jars that have been in the medicine cabinet. Well, I'm going to encourage you this year to take on a new aspect, a new element of spring cleaning, and that's to take a look at your habits and patterns and to do a little cleaning over the next couple of weeks to see if you can't shake loose some of the cobwebs in your own mind. One of the easiest places to look is at your complaints. Take a good hard look. I suggest that you take the next 2 days, and every time you have a complaint, write it down. I think first of all, you'll be surprised at how many complaints you actually have. And secondly, after the 2 days, you will look at them and discover, hey, there's a theme here. You have a theme park of complaints. And maybe you have a dozen complaints about the same thing coming at it with different angles. Or maybe you have a lot of complaints that equal a judgment about somebody. Or maybe it's about something a little more general. Maybe you have a litany of complaints about the state of the government, or complaints about, I don't know, drivers. But whatever it is, your complaints are little road signs. They're pointers, and they direct you back towards ways of thinking that generate ways of feeling that are not useful, not pleasant, not going to get you anywhere. Things that are like vines trapping, weaving their way around your ankles as you try to climb the hill. So I want you to just take it on, just for the month. See if you can't, in the next 2 days, uncover those complaints, and then systematically do this. Own responsibility for the complaint by asking yourself, is there something I could do or something I could stop doing that might change this situation, this circumstance, this relationship? If there's something that you can do or can stop doing, well, do it. By all means, do it rather than complain about it. And if there's actually nothing that you can do, if this thing is the way it is and input from you is not going to matter a damn bit, then I will invite you to step back from it and I don't like to use the word, but accept it. It doesn't mean you have to like the thing the way it is, but accepting that you have no power over it in this moment gives you freedom from feeling bad and feeling angry and feeling frustrated and feeling judgmental and feeling, when you can stumble upon something you can do or something you can stop doing that makes a difference, even when it comes to the bigger issues. What can you do about the state of the government? Well, you can vote. Well, you can call your congressperson. There are things that you can do that will spin the energy at least a little bit in a different direction. And that's what we do in spring cleaning, right? We spin the energy in a new direction. We blow out the old stagnant winter energy, and we bring in the new moving, birthing, hatching, life-giving, awakening, rising from the dark energy. So that's what I'm inviting you to do with mental spring cleaning. Take a look at the different ways that you might find yourself imposing your will over a situation rather than actually paying attention to what's going on. If you're quiet and if you notice what your body's telling you, you might impose fewer rules on what you do. If you notice what your gut is telling you when you're in a conversation with somebody, you might have fewer judgments. You might make a new decision about how you want that relationship to go. And there's an invitation there again for something that you can say that you probably haven't said, hoping it'll just magically go away. If I ignore this person, they'll just eventually just fade away. Well, maybe they won't. Maybe they'll come knocking on your door. But the point is, if there is a recurring complaint, take a look at what you might be doing to hold that complaint in place, and let that be part of your spring cleaning, right? To remove it, to lift it, to take charge of it, or to step away from it. And that might mean cutting yourself loose from certain situations, from people who talk all the time about politics and you don't want to hear it, or family members who are always on the having a pity party, and they're on the poor me train and they want you to fix it for them. There might be things to step away from rather than tolerate that are part of cleaning the cobwebs of the mind and calling it spring cleaning. It's a beautiful thing. You might even go out and get yourself a little something. Doesn't matter what it is. It can be small. I don't know, go get a little seashell, or go get a little paperweight, or a pair of earrings. Get yourself a little something that represents bringing in the new, calling in the new, so that you can be more encouraged to let go of what's not working, to do that spring cleaning. I'm going to read you, I found this poem online today, and I'm going to read you the beginning of it because I really like it, and it speaks to what this conversation is about, and it's called Spring Cleaning. It is by Nikita Gill. Throw away the knife you made from the sharp insults they gave you. Empty out the darkness that is collected at the bottom of your heart. All the words you refuse to say settle there. Your heart is not a well to poison, remember that. When the secrets become too heavy to carry, whisper them and let the wind carry them away. As much as people say you do not have to do this alone, know that there are some things that you must do alone. Like find every part of you that no one has known how to love. Hold it as it cries, and love yourself anyway. That's not the whole poem, but I really love that. Sometimes we have complaints because things are just the way they are. There are some things we need to do on our own. And I think especially when it comes to treating ourselves with the kindness that we maybe didn't get from our upbringing or from our parents or whatever our story is. Sometimes what happens when we grow up is we keep waiting for somebody somewhere to give us what we never got. So for part of your spring cleaning, I'll also invite you to let that go, to do something different. And you can do something. You can, as the poem says, gather up those parts of yourself that feel unloved or have been unloved. Hold them tenderly and love them yourself. Let yourself be kind to yourself. That's part of spring cleaning too. Enjoying that moment of joy and love and rebirth. Okay. All right. Well, I will come back in a few days and post a meditation that goes with this little chat. And I'm going to be doing a class soon, so look for it. You're going to like this class. It's about the power and magic of music. Now, I think most of us love music, listen to music. Some of us play instruments or sing or enjoy going to live music. But what I want you to know about this class is that, again, it brings together the science of what happens when we're in the presence of music, which is really, it's really astonishing. We don't just listen to music. We are entrained, every cell in our bodies becomes entrained to the music we listen to. Music changes the structure of our brains. Music makes us smarter. Music can boost our immune system and give us better outcomes during surgery. So I'm going to bring into this class some ideas, some things that we do already intuitively know, but I'm going to bring the science behind it. So it helps you, it helps the mind, the conscious, the ego self, to actually use the tools at our disposal. And music is a tool we leave in the drawer far too often. So I'm inviting you to take a look at the class when it comes up. Please take the class. I think that you're going to get way more out of it than you imagine that you could. In any case, spring is coming. Enjoy yourself. I'll be back soon with a meditation, and start the spring cleaning. Let the cleaning begin. Thank you for tuning in. This is Raven Dana, walking between the worlds with you. Bye now.